To make the ear, you are going to want some white chunky yarn and a 6mm crochet hook. To start, we are going to do a magic ring, and into that magic ring we are going to do 8 single crochets. So after our 8 single crochets, you just want to pull the middle nice and tight. I do a double knot just to make sure that it doesn't come unravelled, and then you're going to do a slip stitch into the first stitch just to join it all together. And then for round 2, we are going to do a single crochet into every stitch. So that will leave our stitch count at 8 stitches for round 2. For round 3, we are going to do a single crochet into the first stitch, and then in the next stitch we are going to increase. So we're going to follow that pattern all the way around of single crochet and then an increase, and that will bring our stitch count to 12 stitches. For the next 2 rounds, so rounds 4 and 5, we are going to do a single crochet into every stitch. So our stitch count for these 2 rounds will remain at 12. For round 6, we are going to do a single crochet in the first 2 stitches, and then into the 3rd stitch we are going to do an invisible decrease. So we'll continue 2 single crochets and decrease, and that will bring our stitch count down to 9. For round 7, we are going to continue decreasing, but this time we're going to do 1 single crochet and then a decrease. If we're going to continue this around, and this will bring our stitch count to 6 stitches. And then you just want to cut a tail about 30 centimeters in length, and then pull the remaining yarn through and make 2 of these ears. Now to attach the ears, I've just attached them onto the head using stitch markers, so the outside corner of the ear kind of aligns with the middle of the eye, and I've done it 2 rounds up from the eye. You can do yours further apart, closer together, but this is just what I like to do for mine. And then using our yarn needle, we're going to pick up a stitch on the main head, and then poke our needle through the ear and pull our yarn all the way through. And then we're just going to repeat this, so pick up a stitch from the head, pick up a stitch from the ear, pull it through, pick up a stitch from the head, pick up a stitch from the ear, and we do this all the way around until the ear is nice and secure. You want to do this for both ears. And then once you're finished, you can just tie it off with a knot. And then I like to put my yarn through either the head or the body and then tie off. Once you weave it through the head or the body, that just helps to secure it a bit more. So yeah, you can see I'm just inserting it into the head and then pulling it through, and then you can just cut it off at the end. And then for the next part we are going to do the horn, so you want some grey chunky yarn and your 6mm crochet hook. So to start we are going to do a magic ring, and into a magic ring we're going to do 4 single crochets. Once we've done our 4, we're just going to tighten up the middle, and then we're going to do our double knot and our slip stitch like we did previously with the ears. There we are, I'm just tying off the back with a knot just to make sure the magic ring doesn't come undone. And then for round 2, I'm going to do a single crochet into the first stitch, and then into the next stitch I'm going to increase. We're going to continue this pattern all the way around, and that will bring our stitch count up to 6 stitches. And then for the next 3 rounds, we are just going to continue doing a single crochet into every stitch. So our stitch count will remain at 6 single crochets per round. So now we just need to cut a tail about 15 centimeters in length. We can pull that yarn through our last stitch, and then I've just pinned the horn onto the unicorn, so I've done it exactly midway between the 2 ears, but just 1 round down from the ears, as you can see. So the front of the ear and the top of the horn are in line with each other. I've just fastened it with a nice little pin so it doesn't move. And then with our yarn needle, we're going to attach it the same way we did the ears. So we're going to pick up 1 stitch from the head, 1 stitch from the horn, and pull our needle through. Try not to get the ear caught in the process. Pulling it through. And then we're going to continue with this pattern all the way around. So picking up 1 stitch from the head, 1 stitch from the horn, pulling the needle through until it's all nice and fastened securely. The next step is to make the mane, so I've got some multicoloured yarn, but you can use a different colour like pink if you want, and again our 6mm crochet hook. So to start, I'm going to do a chain of 25 stitches. And then at the end of that chain, we're going to skip the first stitch, and then into every other stitch we are going to do an increase. So we're going to do 2 single crochets into every stitch, and this will give us that curly pattern that you see. We want to make 5 of these. If you want a more full mane, you can do more than 5, but for this example I'm going to do 5. So we're just doing 2 stitches into every stitch, and it should look like this. So once you have your 5 curls, we're going to fasten them onto the head. So what I like to do is I like to put 1 in front of either ear and then 3 in between the back space of the ear. So 1 to the left, 1 to the right, and then 3 behind the ears. So I'm going to start with the front just for ease, and then to attach, just like with everything else we've done, we're going to pick up a stitch in the head, and then we're going to pull it through our mane, and then back through the head. And I just do this quite a few times because obviously if you're giving this to children, they have a tendency to pull on them, so you just want to make sure these are quite well fastened. So just through the head, through the mane, and keep pulling it through, and then we can tie it off in the same way we have with everything else. We just do a knot and then attach it through the middle of the head before cutting it off. And once you've attached all 5, it should hopefully look something like this.